issues, right? Yeah, I mean, you would look at me and feel, hey, how did you survive? One of the things you need to understand is that when you finish your certification, um, until what you're doing can sustain you, it may not make sense to do it full time. So I realized that all of us have got survival skills, right? And so I had to leverage on my survival skills way back to keep my body and soul together, right? And then, so I'll tell you exactly what I did, and I'll share 5 tips with you that I think can help you. The first thing was that nobody knew me, so nobody was going to invite me. So what did I do? I invited myself. If they don't give you a platform, be the platform, create your own platform. So where did I invite myself into? If you live in Lagos and you follow the public transportation, you'll be used to people preaching in the public transportation. Am I correct? I don't know if that happens in all my brothers and sisters from South Africa, other African countries. Does that happen in your country where you enter a public transport and someone is preaching? Right? I know that Lagos people are used to that. I don't know if it happens in Zimbabwe or South Africa or Swaziland, right? But that's the norm in Lagos. Now, okay, so they're saying Linda James said yes. Okay, so that's Zambia. Right. And so if you are familiar with the preaching in Lagos, it's almost like sentencing people to hellfire. If you wear a ring, you will go to hell. If you wear trousers, you go to hell. If you wear that, you go to hell. So I had looked at what they were doing, and it was almost like you were condemning people. And so I had a family life message that could give people life and give them hope. So you know what I did? I got into the buses early. And then the day I had money, I was living in a place called Ajegunle. That was a slum at that time. The day I had money, I would pay for everybody going from Ajegunle to Ojuelegba, right? And then maybe it was costing me like maybe 500 naira or less than that time. I'll pay for everyone. Why? So that the bus conductor will not disturb. Then I would teach. I would share tips on family life. I would start the session by saying, today is a wonderful day. My name is Praise, for we have come to make your life better, to inspire you today. So can you say after me, this is the day the Lord has made. It was, it is the Lord. I'm going to prosper. My family is going to work. I'm going to get the right spouse. Everything is going to work for me. I will do call and response, and I will charge up the bus. Then I'll go ahead. I might say something on parenting. I might teach something on, how you can make your family life work. And I would teach the distance between Ajegunle to Ojuelegba, if there's no traffic, is about 20 minutes drive. Or 30 minutes, thereabout, yeah. Because they will stop at various bus stops. Right? Sometimes it can be like 40 minutes. The longer it is, the better for me. I'll teach and teach and teach and teach till I got my own bus stop and then our light. Each time I came down from my bus stop, a lot of people came down with me. And you know what they were coming to ask? How can we invite you to our church? You are so good. We've never seen this before. These are the kind of teaching. They will even be asking me what bus was I going to enter the following day so that they could be in that bus. So my experience inside the buses taught me that the audience is always there. If you sit down with your certificate and expect the audience to come to you, you are doing it the wrong way. You need to go to the audience, right? It's like money. You first need to be available before you become scarce. Some of us are not available. You want to become scarce. You are the one that will buy yourself eventually if care is not taken. So that was what I was doing. And then some of them will invite me to their churches, and I'm excited to go. They don't have money to pay me. Because people need to know me. People need to hear me. People need to see me. I'll go ahead and teach in their churches. They will stretch their hand. Let us bless our brother for coming. And I will take it. Every opportunity I just went. Then he graduated to let us give him pure water. Let us give him bottled water. And then after a while, I insisted, at least if I don't make profit, let me not run at a loss. I'll tell them, can you pick me from house and return me? So those were my initial charges. At least take me and return me. And that was how people started knowing me. Coincidentally, BlackBerry just came into Nigeria. And if you know BlackBerry, you can do broadcast. So I started writing a daily broadcast on, was it Sex Talk Back? I can't remember what I used to call it, but I have the entire file on my laptop. For those of you who were here and you used to receive messages from me during BlackBerry era, you can just signal and let me know you're here, right? Every day I had to write, every day. And I mean every day for like 11 years, I was writing. I would write, because the people were my audience, right? I posture myself as their coach. And I would write, sometimes I had typos, I didn't have patience to edit, I'll just send it out like that. Because many of you are expecting perfection to get started, right? It was, I think, John Merson, who said that you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started on your way to becoming great. He that observe the wind will not sow. Many of you have one certification, you are expecting, this is not enough. Let me go for the next one. Let me go for the next one. Let me go for the next one. So you are accumulating degrees, accumulating certificates without conversion. Nobody rewards you for certificates. You are going to be rewarded for work done. Work done is what will elicit well done. It is not the number of trainings you've attended, right? As a matter of fact, I run an organization. All the people that work in my organization, I've never seen their CV. I've never seen their certificate. From the CEO down to everyone. I don't even know whether they graduated from university. If they lied to me that they graduated, I wouldn't have known. We don't do verification. We focus on the human being we can see. So many of you overrate what you don't have. And I used to have a mentor who used to say that it is not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you have, but you don't know how to use. If I live in Zambia, I would brand myself the family life coach of Zambia. If I live in Swaziland, I would brand myself the family life coach of Swaziland, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to brand myself in a way that I'm going to be unique. It will almost be like I'm carrying the weight of the entire nation on my shoulder. I can brand myself the family life coach of Africa or something, right? So nobody was willing to touch me until one day, a man who has a TV show, Sonny Rabo, had heard about me, right? And then invited me just to have a chat. And then I went to have a chat with him. I told him all I was doing. Oh, he said, okay, let's go to a TV station. We went to AIT. And then I didn't know I was going to be his guest. Put me on AIT. I spoke for 1 hour. Then he said, oh, can I come on Friday? I went on Friday. Then he put me on NTA Network Service. NTA Network Service, everybody was watching me all over Nigeria. That was when I got my first speaking engagement, right? And that speaking engagement, I cannot forget. They paid me 30,000 naira. It was in a place called Nekede. Nekede is in a place called, I think, Imo State, Owerri. So I had to take a night bus. The name of the night bus is called Super Sleeper. Right. I had to get, Super Sleeper means you will leave for the journey at night, because the trip from Lagos to Nekede was like 10 hours. Right. Imo State. Yeah. Thank you very much, Kosi. Right. So I had to go to Federal Poly Nekede. I had one person who went with me. Right. And then I was paid 30,000 naira. ABC, thank you very much. See, oh, my Super Sleeper. Then there's one. It felt like an airplane. I'd never flown an airplane as I then. All right. So we went. I spoke my heart out. In fact, I remember that there's a lady called Favor Ophili, Oseri or something. She's a pastor now in Port Harcourt. Her husband, the Pastor Wisdom Place. She was the president of that fellowship that year, right? So that was firstly they paid me 30,000. Then I was back somewhere in Aba again. Those ones to pay me 30,000. Those were the initial Favor of Syria. That's it. That's it. Favor was she was a student that year. Those were the first two places I earned money, right? And so, and it doesn't mean it was consistent. Then people now knew me. Everybody wanted me to come and speak. The only problem is that there were churches, and then I had a mental block. I was feeling guilty to charge, because won't they say you are too money conscious? Won't they say you are? So I was doing like 12 speaking engagements a month. By the time all the honorarium they give you, oh, bless you, brother, that's when I started earning. It will come to like 150,000. But before I started earning, I had to learn to do stuff. I would go and train church choirs. I knew music. So churches will hire me to prepare the choir. I will earn maybe like 5,000 naira every month to go there 4 times a month, once a week. So I had like 3 churches. I was preparing the choir. I had to start selling Zobo. I put Zobo is like hibiscus drink. I put it in front of churches. I was in business. I had a book I just wrote. The book was not selling. And then I went to a private school. I saw that there was a gap. The children love stories, but there was no subject called storytelling. So I created a subject called World Changers. I pitched it to the school. They loved it. So they were paying me 5,000 every month to come and teach the students once. I created games and songs around it. It became the best subject in the school, and then other schools bought it. So I had to do other things to survive, at least to keep body and soul together. Because your practice is like a newborn baby, right? No newborn baby can feed you from year 1. If he feeds you from year 1, to God be the glory, that's miracle. But life is not operational on miracles alone, right? So I had to do a lot of other things, a lot of other businesses to keep body and soul together, because I told myself, I will be in this sector for 7 years. If 7 years I do not break through in this sector, I'll go back to paid employment. So I was in there, right? And so after a while, people could give honorarium 10,000, 20,000. By the time you had everything together, it was 150K. Until one day I went to speak somewhere and it was 30,000 naira. They paid me. Then my car got problematic. And the mechanic charged me 180,000. So I had to get a loan from my wife, to fix that car. I was in tears and I went to my mentor. And my mentor said, Praise, how many speaking engagements do you have in a month? I told him about 12. What's the total amount you make? He said 158,000. He said the problem is you have not separated the people that need you from the people that want you. He said now the market knows you. So you now need to become scarce. So he said the way to become scarce is when they invite you, send a code of engagement. He showed me his own code of engagement and I went to edit it to make it mine. And so when I edited it and I started sending my code of engagement and I prepared me, he said they will start saying that you like money. He said all of them love money. So don't develop a thick skin to that, right? He said, but you need to show up every day. Then he said you need to build an alternative platform outside of church, because if they don't like you, then they can shut down your economy. So make sure that the mass market can earn, you can earn from mass market, you can earn money from the upper class, you can earn from the corporate entity, and then you can earn from the religious organization. So he said that way you become water. So I started sending my code of engagement to them. Guess what happened? My name went around. Oh, he's too money conscious. He's too money conscious. He's too money conscious. So my 12 speaking engagements reduced to maybe about 3 or 4. But you see, those 3 or 4, each of them paid a minimum of 250,000, because that was what my code of engagement said. So in a month, I could do 1 million. Before, with 12 running around, my family not seeing me, I was doing 150,000. Now, with lesser speaking engagement, more quality ones, I was doing like 1 million. But I did not arrive there overnight. So the moral of this entire story is there are so many people selling something oh, we can trend you, we can make you, we can do this, we can do this. There is the law of process. Don't let anybody lie to you. If they ever engineer anything and then you become an overnight sensation, that's a miracle. That's not a norm. If you grow up, you stay up. If you jump up, you're going to come down. Because everything in life is a process. Many of you are not consistent. You Joyce, I felt that was too expensive, right? Many of you, you love the idea of the money, and it's not your fault. The people talk to you when I speak, oh, they pay me $1 million. See, it's not every time people earn $1 million. I mean, I've gotten to a level that maybe if the job is less than $10,000, I will not do it by myself. I will give it to my associates or my team to do. That's my fee. That's what I collect. But if it's lesser than that, I'll still collect the job, maybe show up once and then get my team to do it. Because I have put in 24 years. If you are going to be an exceptional coach, and I'm not talking about activists or people who say they are doing family therapy and then they are controversial all the time, fighting people all the time, getting involved with movie makers, and that's not what I'm talking. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you want to do this professionally, right, it will take time, right? It will take time. But you see, the rule of the game is consistency. You need to show up every time, every day. You need to write, shoot content every day. Whether people see you, they don't see you, they comment, they don't comment, keep doing it. You know why? Your content can never die. There are content I shot that nobody said anything about. When I shot them, someday somebody just blasted it and then it went viral. You see, how many of us will be remembered when we are gone is by the content that we have shot. Our great-great-great-grandchildren will go on YouTube or whatever medium. That is how they will remember many of us. Just to make sure that whatever you are putting out has quality in it. Don't bother about whether people see you, whether they are calling you, they are not calling you. Don't bother for now. You need to step out and do what you have to do. So I will share 5 things with you that I think can help you, and then I'll take a few questions, and then I'll be done for today. So let me look for it, for my slides. Yeah, because I don't want to, I just want to make it very quick. Yeah. So 5 steps to handling a no-show period. Yeah, I've called it a no-show period because there are seasons where nobody is paying you money. And many people give up on that. The first thing you need to do in your no-show period, right, is focus on the mission, not just monetization. There is nobody that started with monetization. The mission is more important, and your mission is to change lives. We're going to make money. Settle that in your mind. When you seek ye first the kingdom, every other thing will be added. Money will be added. That kingdom is purpose, is the mission. So we say purpose first, perseverance. And I always tell my mentees, and this was the thing I said to myself many years ago when nobody paid me anything. Praise, remember you were called to heal, build, and transform families, not just to invoice them. I said this to myself every day. So when the mission is strong, momentum continues even when money doesn't. So keep refining your skill, your structure, and your story. The right clients will come. One day, as in my confusion, people had read my BlackBerry. One lady just called me. Said, Praise, can you come and speak for us? There are young people. It's a program organized by the First Lady of Lagos. She's not going to be there, but hey, and we don't have money to pay. I jumped at it. When to speak, they took the video to the First Lady. The First Lady looked at the video and was like, who was this guy? I want him on my event every now and then. That was how I became a permanent feature, and then they started paying me. Right? But if I don't show up, if in the days of BlackBerry, I was upset, nobody is calling me, nobody is inviting me with all I know, blah, 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 blah. Everybody has got their season. But you need to show up. Many of you, the day you now decide to give up is the day your client is looking for you and they can't find you. So focus on, see, even if it is one person that is reading from you, you can never tell who that person is going to become. Do you know I went to speak in Scotland? After I left Nigeria, I went to Manchester and went to Scotland. As I stepped into the venue, a woman came to meet me and said, Praise, I want to say thank you to you. Those songs that you wrote, child sexual abuse prevention songs that you used to send to us, I taught my daughter is now a graduate. And she keeps talking about how you saved her life. That was in Scotland. And it happens everywhere I go, from Canada to Germany, everywhere. Somebody, and it was BlackBerry. Even my write-up, they were full of typos, but I didn't bother. Focus on the mission, not the journey. That's step one. Number two thing you need to learn to do, build value before you build. Right? Build value before you build. Every content piece is a down payment on trust. So Fidelia, I see some of the things you write now. I am excited that you are now becoming very consistent. Some of you, I check what you are doing on social media. Don't think I'm too busy for you. I check. But some of you have been missing in action, right? Okay, so they just posted one of the sexuality education songs, right? I wrote all these songs because I wanted to create something creative that Africa had never seen before. I wanted to kick out sex predators. So I wrote songs, went to the studio, and then nobody paid me for it, but I was doing it. But guess what? One day I was invited to Redemption Camp to come and speak, and I packaged the song, packaged some of the slides, put them in CD, and I sold each copy for 7,000 naira. We took maybe about, I can't remember the number of copies. By the time I saw my team, they had turned their clothes because the rush was too much. That day, my honorarium was 100,000. Product sale was 3.1 million. One single day. So when clients delay, use that time to give massive value through content, teaching, and free resources. People often pay after consistent exposure to transformation, not just after a pitch. Position your value daily. That was why during COVID, I challenged myself to create 2 new content every day. Nobody sent me. In fact, some of my mentees will tell you, I launched a research that we will study the family life in every nation in the world, alphabetical order, from the first nation, Albania. I said we will study every nation of the world. Many of them gave up after 2 weeks. They couldn't. Okay, good. Bumi said she was there. She could not get to buy that day. So if I was lying, people would be. When I launched that research, we will be studying family life of every nation every day. Some of them gave up after 2 weeks. I was the only one left. I kept at it. I would study it. I would do the slide. I would do the video. If you get on my YouTube, you will still see some of those videos. And then 2 a.m. Nigerian time, I was teaching every day on COVID. I was teaching new content, PF things. You know, people were joining me. And then I didn't know. That was the time diaspora was awake. America, I was living in America or Canada. Then they will call me, oh, can you solve this problem? Then I created products. Okay, Auntie Fee is here, PF things, you know. And then I would say to them, oh, it's $3,200 I charge, $3,200. And they'll say, oh, can we spread the payment? Why not? Right? Build value before you build. But you need to build that. So I was refining. I was thinking. Whatever I taught it immediately. Don't wait. So build value before you build. Number 3, create systems, not emotional reaction. Systems don't panic. People do. And don't overthink system. Facebook is a system. YouTube is a system. Instagram is a system. Your website is a system. There is a way. Just create automation, right? Track patterns. Review your client's acquisition system. Maybe some of you are churning out content and then you don't know how to make a call. You need to make a call. What do you want them to do? Don't just put content there. At the end of your content, slide into my DM if you want to talk to me, or you put a Calendly link. you need click on this Calendly to book a free session, 15-minute session with me, or 30 minutes free session, or join my waiting list. I'm doing a free webinar. You need to tell them what to do. Don't assume they know. The clients can be enjoying your content. Oh, wow, Auntie Ife is so good. If he's so good. But if he's not telling them, I have this product, I have this class, I have this thing you can buy, right? So use dry season to build infrastructure. If you know, see, there's hardly any topic on family life right now that you call me that it would take me less than 10 minutes to bring it out, because I have worked ahead of time. If you know the countries I have studied, nobody gave me the task. I don't even know who to look up to. This is my work, so I better know everything around it, right? And I don't take shallow, when I was lecturing last week, the class had to engage me to say, Praise, how do you create your content? One of these days, I'm going to teach you guys how I create content. It's one of the mentoring sessions, right? Or maybe we'll make it a master class, right? I had to show them the framework that I create content that will stand the test of time. 100 years after I am gone, it will still be relevant. I don't want to create watery stuff, right? So you need to create systems. My mentor taught me, even if you have 5 minutes presentation, make it a slide. So I have lots of slides. See, I just finished creating a new solution this week. I gave it to a few people to help me look at it, and they couldn't believe it, right? If you have done FESEC, what I just created is, I created coaching scripts for every aspect of the tools we taught you in class. That do-it-yourself kind of thing. Once the client comes, oh, you want to do Tree of Life? This is how to do it. You want to do this one? This is how to do it. The person is healing. Just be reading it, and the person will be answering you. You want to do building a... it's a 96-page work, right? And I've been working on it, finished it this week. My wife couldn't even believe it. See, I'm here in Canada to do holiday. But when my hand is idle, I can't be watching pornography. So let me kukuma engage my brain. I can't be watching home video all the time. I try to watch one per day, right? So let me engage my mind. Nobody promised you tomorrow, right? So with that, everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows what to do. You don't need to. You are no longer confused. I'm always thinking, what else can I do? So observe. They say this marriage has collapsed. Study it. Go research it. Oh, this man left an inheritance and tied his wife to a time. Go and study that culture, right? Create systems. When will it be available, Lina? They are designing it right now. Number 4, sharpen in obscurity what we announce you in visibility. David killed Goliath with skills he developed in private, right? So some of you, one of the things I did way back, I will speak to the chairs in my room. I would visualize the chairs as if I were talking to people all over the world. When I finish speaking to the chairs, I now gather children on my street. Those ones, they can't spot my mistake. I will inspire them. Many of them were teenagers. Some of them, there is a lady, she's a medical doctor, Agbola. She's taking the present FESEC. I don't know if she's on this call. She was in that set. I would teach them every week. I'll teach them every week. I'll teach them every week, right? But then some of them are professors right now. So you cannot tell me nobody is talking to you, nobody is calling you. Hey, there are kids around you, gather them. There are singles around you, gather them. There are married people around you, parents around you. Just whatever the niche you want to focus on, just begin to create a community that you are speaking to. Let me tell you, the funny thing about Africa is that even if you are talking rubbish, they will still grow themselves, right? There's some guy who is selling stone, the place is still packed. So sharpen in obscurity. What we announce you in visibility, right? Train like you are booked. A couple of years ago, because I support Manchester United signed a player. No, I think Cristiano Ronaldo signed a contract. And they said it will be earning, like $55 per second on that contract. So they displayed him. You know what I did? I wrote my own contract. I signed myself. Praise Forward has been signed by the highest body in the world. This is what I'll get paid. And Then I began to rehearse and practice like football players. The Family Life Coaching Association Conference in America holds tomorrow. If you are not registered, I think you should sign up and be there. I am taking one of the keynote sessions. That's at the highest level, right? And that's like the third time I'm speaking at that conference. But this was the boy who was in Ajegunle. Right? So sharpen in obscurity. What we announce you. So see, take this thing as if your life depends on it. And number 5 is that stay grateful, not entitled. Gratitude. Don't live in the realm of complaint. How are other people doing? And please, many people are lying. One day, a guy did a pre-launch of his book. And then after 2 weeks, he said, sold out. Sold out? So I went to him at the back end and I asked, can you share the tips? How did you sell out? And you know what he said to me? He said he did not sell a single copy. So I said, why did you say sold out? He said, if he doesn't say sell out, people will not respect him. He said, you have to fake it till you make it. Now, I don't know how to do those kind of things. But a lot of people are selling sold out. Some of the people are saying our class is sold out. Meanwhile, almost half of the people in the class are attending for free. Right? They're attending for free. You now look at the numbers and say, oh, wow, this person don't cash out to, what is my own? I can't even attract one person. See, there was a time in my life, my trainings were 5,000 naira. Nobody was attending. 5K. The year I moved it to, I got upset and I made it 60,000 for 1 day training. 18 people registered. Right? And so, but then it was years of refining. So stay grateful. And some of you need to know yourself. You may not be an event person. I don't consider myself an event person. I don't, that's not me like that. Right? Stay grateful. Don't be entitled. Gratitude protects your spirit from burnout. Right? So shift the narrative. I get to do this. Nah, no. Why are they not paying me yet? Don't be talking all those things. Serve one person like they pay you 10,000. See, I do less of adverts. In fact, I was doing an audit on ChatGPT a couple of months ago, and I said, ChatGPT, what do you consider to be my blind spot? One of the things ChatGPT said to me was that you have grown your networks organically. Your blind spot is that you are not doing a lot of paid ads. So you should do a lot of paid ads and influential marketing, blah, 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 to scale to the next level. That's to tell you that I grow things organically. All the people that follow, I didn't buy anything on Instagram. I didn't buy any people. I don't even know how to do it. But I live in gratitude. Anybody who shows up, I will give them 100% attention. I will show up and see my life depends on it. Whether they are paying or they are not paying, there is no difference. Right? So, if nobody is responding to you, right? Don't be discouraged. Don't be asking yourself, God, when will they pay me? My first. In fact, by the way, I don't know if Pastor Shem is on this call. Pastor Shem, if you are here, can you say hi? He had called me. I saw his message when I woke up yesterday, and he said, Coach, guess what? I said, what? He said, they just paid me my first $1,000, right? And I just started dancing. You know why I was dancing for him? I knew when he started being consistent on social media, and he would shoot content every week, then every other day, and he would speak, and I would go there, I would look at his content. I knew how his content started getting better. I knew when his cutting wasn't good enough, right? And then when he moved into better spaces, but he had to show. See, if you go on, if you scrub Instagram, you will see some of my old videos. They look very, very. I can even play one of them for you. It looked very poor. I don't even know what the background, what I was thinking. The place looked like a shrine, but I didn't bother. My content was superior to the packaging. I needed to get that content. My passion. You will need to be extra. You need to have OCD to spot that place looked like a shrine, right? Because I was about impact. I was about impact, not about nothing. I don't pay so much attention to packaging is good, especially if you want to collect big money. But then what essence is packaging when you have no content? Me, I don't. You need to get this camera. Please, can we get a phone that can see my face and can capture my voice? Me, I'm already on my way. Right? So many of you, you want to become CNN overnight. You don't need to become. CNN started from somewhere. Every great thing starts small. So go and start with whatever you have. You have a phone. If they call it Palasa phone, use it. The phone can see you. You can see the phone. I see the moon. The moon sees me. God bless the moon. God bless me. Right? Shoot yourself. My name is Praise. I've just come to encourage you guys today. I love you. I want you to know whatever is happening in your life matters and it can work. And if you are going through any crisis, I am your favorite coach. I am Lena, the leader, the number one coach in Zambia. You can talk to me. Right? You have done content already. Right? Don't overthink these things, guys. So I need to see all your content all over social media, but I don't just need to see it. I need to see it consistently. You need to show up consistently and give it your best shot. You know, I picture myself, I imagine myself as if I were talking to United Nations. That's the way I see myself. Right? And that's the way I wanted to see yourself. And bring, this life, I was talking to a professor. I'm trying to put in for a PhD. And then I was talking to one professor, and the professor said, oh, let me search you out online. Search me out online. Send something to me that I didn't know existed online. And what was it that was sent to me? By the time I clicked on it, it was, I don't know, Google Scholars. They did an entire piece on family system engineering certification program, how we started, when we started, the people that have graduated, some of the notable names that have graduated. We did not put that online. I didn't know how they did it. Right? And quickly I sent it to our CEO to say, see what I found. Right? Because, see, you can't be missing in action. Some of you overthink, you second guess, you judge yourself, you think you are not enough, you are not good enough, despite the fact that you are intelligent. Are you aware that at every level you are in, there are people who consider your mediocrity to be excellence? There are people who will leave because you showed up. Meanwhile, you are striving for perfection. Perfectionism is a myth. It's a myth. It doesn't exist. Progress is what you must commit to. As we all with unveiled face, we are being changed from one level of glory to another. Progress is it. There is no state called perfection. It doesn't exist. That's why every phone has a new level, upgrade every year. So if every phone has an upgrade, why are you looking for perfectionism? You want to be Koza overnight. You want to be winners overnight. You want to be Tony Robbins overnight. No, I can never be Tony Robbins overnight. I can only be praised forward. So guys, I believe this has been helpful. And the only way to say thank you to me is to plan your next 30-day content. Whether you're going to be sending a broadcast, you're going to be writing something, right? You write. See, I started a series on pornography yesterday. I've written 2 articles every day, right? I'm going to write another one tomorrow. I don't even know when it's going to end, but I'm going to keep pushing it out. If you get they asked me to send my portfolio of work. Someone who was assessing it saw it and was like, you are like an encyclopedia. But those were things I did when nobody saw me, right? So I need you guys, if you have never posted before in your life because you are thinking it's not perfect, I don't have a studio, hey, go and sit on your dining table and post your content out. Even tag us will come and be commenting there and be saying, oh, wow. Even if it's not good enough, we'll say, wow. That's the thing. There is nothing called it's not even good enough. As long as you have made sense. You don't even need to make sense to yourself. Make sense to us. Just encourage us. We will say thank you. Right? And then take the first step. Tomorrow, wake up. That must be the first thing you do when you wake up. How do I bless Africa today? How do I bless families today? If that is the priority in your mind, God will open a tap from heaven that you will never lack content. I can teach parenting, family life every day. If there's a meeting every day, I have what to teach. For 365 days, I have content. I don't even need to create new content. Right? Because God always wants, we are just mere vessel. God wants to pass his innovation, his solution, his healing to humanity. He needs a body. So make your body available for God so that he can pass his vision through you to the rest of the world. Right. So I'll take a few questions, but this is what I'll say to you. If nobody's paying you yet, always say to yourself, you are not invincible, you are incubating. And your consistency in the dark is your credibility in the light. Champions don't become champions in the ring. They are only announced in the ring. Right? Muhammad Ali said before he gets into the ring, he would have killed his opponent 1 million times. So you go to your gym, prepare as if you're going to talk to the entire world. You're going to be on CNN. If you have 5 minutes on CNN, what will you say every day? So that's what I need you guys to start to do. And then make a call every time. Just tell them at the end of the session, you are looking for the best coach to work with. I'm the one, right? You can slide into my DM or you can shoot me a mail, blah, 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 and talk to me. I'll see you tomorrow, something like that, right? So, Debimpe says, I have not, I feel I don't know. Start with what you have. Debimpe, do you know what you have survived? Bimpe, I know you. You know what you have survived? Your entire process of surviving, the death of a spouse to parenting your children to where you are is an entire school of thought. Is an entire school of thought. All the people that promise you are going to be there disappointed you, overcoming disappointment. You are going to speak it from a position of strength. Everything in our life happened for a purpose. So we need to maximize it. Okay, so that will be all from me. Before I take questions, we have 2 programs coming up that I'm going to announce. So we have this New African Ancestors VIP Community Parenting. This program, it's an entire 13-week program on how to set up a family system that is transgenerational. Now, people have asked us, can they be licensed to use this model? So that offer is now open. But we are going to give you a link. Just click on the link to put your name down if you want to be on the wait list. You're going to be licensed. You're going to be trained, and you're going to be licensed to use this. It's not free. You're going to be able to charge your clients as well. This is for those of you who don't have content, you want the ready-made content on parenting. If your niche is parenting, then this is for you, right? You're going to have the content license to use the content, and then all the slides, everything is already made for you. You have videos you can watch, and then how do you run the community, everything is going to be taught to you. So if you just want to attend it for yourself, please click the appropriate link in there. If you just want to do it and you want to do it to make money, let us know as well. Now, the other one is we're doing something in September. It's it's for faith-based organization and schools. So if you know any school or any church that has a teens church, or even if it's a mosque, they have a teens mosque, teens ministry, or whatever it is, where young people are, high school children. We're doing this program. It's a 10-week program. Each church or each organization is sending 10 people, right? For the fee of 1.5 million. So if you know any church that you think needs to send people in, kindly help us share the flyer. If you convert any church, we'll pay you 200,000. Right. If you convert any church at all, or any mosque or any school that you convert, right, you get to attend this one. We'll give you a cashback of 200K once they pay. Right. That's the, so it's not free. If you have a list, you can so easily with this one, you can make like 2 million if you get 10 churches. But we want to do it across Africa. It's going to be September 24. That's when the class opens. So you can as well market this. So that will be all from me. I'll take questions. If you have any question, you can raise your hand and I'll take the questions before we shut down today, and we start going next week, next month. Somebody says, I'm always afraid of what if they ask me a question and I don't know the answer. You don't have to know all the answers. right? You don't have to know all the answers. If they ask you a question, you don't know the answer, tell them you get back to them. Or get someone else who is more senior to join you in the webinar or whatever it is. That's why if you have done family STEM engineering, as they're asking you the question, you can put it in the group. People will tell you the answer, and then you give the answer. That's why you need a community. Somebody said, I don't know how to shoot a content. If you don't know how to shoot a content, we already did a master class on that here. So please, if you don't know what to do, how to shoot the content, go and watch that time. Lottie actually taught everybody how to shoot the content. So go watch that. It's on the YouTube page. Thank you very much, Pierre. Your passion for family life shows in all that you can. We have this session in MP3 and sent to our mailboxes. I want to listen to this twice daily. It's on YouTube, so you can go watch it there and replay it. I don't know how to shoot content. I've answered that question. This is inspiring. Thank you very much. So you have the links. If you want to take the licensing program, you can sign up, and then you can also ask for this flyer in case you want to sell it. Yeah. So Caesar, yeah. So how to shoot the content? They put a link there. Caesar, can they unmute Caesar? She has a question. Caesar, can you unmute yourself, please?
Oh, hi, good evening.
Good evening, Caesar.
And everyone. Thank you so much for this inspiration. Really, this is what I needed all this time. I thank God for being here. But one quick one. I think I've always had fears around putting my content out. I process things. I'm always processing. I'm always writing. I'm always coming up with something. But the minute you think about posting it out, you're like, okay, this is something I'm still incubating. I'm still, trying to figure out what I need to do, even the ideas. So if I put it out there, someone will come and snatch it. So I just want to find out, how did you deal with that? Because yeah, it's out there.
Let me answer the question. You see, you can have two types of mentality: abundance mentality and scarcity mentality. When I started out, people would tell me, don't teach them everything you know, because they will, if you teach them everything you know, they will no longer come to you. They will go to other people. I think I have some of my top mentees here. Ayo Lawrence, are you somewhere here? Ayo, are you here? If Ayo is here, I think I saw her when we started. If I don't know anybody. Okay, Ayo, how long have you been listening to me?
Since I think 2019.
2019. Actively, right?
Actively, yes.
Do you still listen to me?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So we always think that, people see, everything I teach is always fresh. What I've learned about life is that, who is this person sharing this thing? Admin, please, can you take this now? Right? People see, the liberal soul is the one that is made fat. He that waters shall be watered. You know the thing with me, a lot of people think that all I do is research. I do research, but research is like maybe 25% of what I do. I have grown myself to a level where I say to God, make me the vessel that you pass your latest innovations through. And honestly, there are things I know by inspiration, revelation, or what we call invasion, that is not taught in any school. It's because I am always willing to share. See, the richest man in the world is the one that is ready to serve the entire world. When Mark Zuckerberg allowed us to use Facebook for free, people were like, no, start charging, and that's what kills many of us. We hoard it till it expires. There is he that scatters and become wealthy, but there is he that withhold. Because let me tell you, the truth is, what we call our intellectual property, in reality, is not our intellectual property. It is God's idea that he has whispered to you or shown to you for the benefit of humanity. So if you withhold it, you will still remain small. So me, I teach my people everything that I know. I mean, I sometimes to my detriment, actually. Right? But guess what? As I'm finishing to teach them like this, PM, another thing has come. Like, I think I shared the new book I'm working on, the new practitioners compass I'm working on with Ayo. And then I shared with a couple of people. All of them came back to me to say, "Oh God, what are you doing again?" Because every time I make them feel like they have not started. Meanwhile, they are the ones that put me on my toes. Because you cannot lead people through a sense of entitlement. You lead them because you have what to give to them. So I am working and getting better every day. But then I am releasing. When we do licensing program in Africa, I don't do it the way they do it in America. To do a licensing program, you will pay through your nose, then they will still charge you. Every year you will pay again, right? When people do FSEC and then we give them Oyela to go and do, nobody does that. You will subscribe for that Oyela. We will be monitoring, we'll be writing your report for you, paying us. That's how people make stupid money. But you see, in America, I tell people it's a capitalist system. I'm not that person. And I'm not going to become a capitalist person simply because I live in America. Whatever I can still help people do, I will do it for them. So it's an abundant mentality you need, right? And I don't also now mean throw all your things. No, the ones you need to trademark them. The one that is your patent them, right? However, you need to have a heart that through you, all the families of the heart will be blessed. I work with Chinese, I work with Indians, I work with all sorts of people everywhere I go, right? But the greatest asset is my heart. So what you need is, you are in Swaziland, I believe, Eswatini. What if you give something out and the whole of the country is able to read it? When everybody, including the people who copy it, and they say, this thing was done by this person, this thing, a time will come, the king of Eswatini will say, oh, who is this person everybody's talking about? Can we appoint her? Because since he's the one training everybody in Eswatini, since he's the only one that a model is unique, let us appoint her as minister in charge of family. Right? So sometimes when you withhold, you don't know that you are withholding your future. But when you leave it and let it go, people will go and tell, that was how I became Nono. People will say, Praise for where it's so unique. There are things people have said about me, I'm just getting to hear. Right. So that's how to go about it. Right. I hope I answered your question. Yeah. Okay. So Caesar, go and deliver your country. Okay. Any other question before you go? Ayoluwa Dedeji. I started posting on my Facebook page at least twice a day, sometimes 5 times a day since I finished my FSC. I also started teaching parenting live on my Facebook once a week since March. With all that you have taught us today, I'm going to do more. Well done. People are asking you to share you've shared your page. Ima said, I'm grateful for the gift of you to humanity. Any other question before we go for today? Usually our session is 1 hour. I think I've done more than slightly above 1 hour today. Okay, when next you see me, I'll be back in America, and that will be next. Okay, Fidelia, can you ask your question? It looks like that's the final question. Admin, please, can you allow Fidelia on mute? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for this session. It's very encouraging. So the question I have is the question I've had for a while now. It has to do with picking a niche, yeah. So I have it has been very challenging for me to pick a niche because I'm interested in quite a number of things. So somewhere in my head, I feel like, okay, maybe I would come to that point where I can now pick one. So the question I want to ask is it compulsory to just pick one niche and stick to that niche? when you have interest in maybe like two or more? Is there a problem with that? Is it something that can be worked around?
No, there is no problem with that. The only challenge is this. I used to be like that. You say niching brings a measure of discipline. The way my mentor taught me was that he said, focus on one thing and let that one thing bring you to the market. Once the market accepts your name, diversify, because whatever carries your name will sell. So it looked like a tough call initially, because if you didn't know me before I started doing family life, I was teaching a lot on identity. So it was at that point I had to sit down and say, I teach identity today, I teach holiness tomorrow, I teach a relationship tomorrow, I teach abstinence tomorrow, purity, and then, then I still had a band. So he said to me, look at everything you're doing and pick one. So I picked family life. And then he said, no, you can't still pick out. Can you pick one aspect of family life that nobody's saying the way you want to say it? Then I looked around the market in Nigeria. If I wanted to teach on marriage, Bimbo Dukoya was on TV, right? Who I had worked with. If I wanted to teach parenting, I wasn't married, Africa would be asking you, are you married, blah, blah, blah. So I fell back on sexuality education. I was sexually abused. I noticed that a lot of children were still sexually abused. There was no content on sexual abuse prevention in Africa. So I decided to start from there. So I started from sexuality education, what to teach your child about sex from 18 months to 18 years. That was all I was teaching. That was what was taking me around. I was teaching that every time, writing about it. And then I will now, even if I wanted to write on marriage, I was writing it from that prism to say, if your marriage is not working, you expose your child. So that was how I became known. By the time the nation accepted me, Pastor Bimbo had passed. So when Pastor Bimbo passed, there was a space, a gap. And that gap, I didn't want to feel it from a religious point of view. I wanted to feel it from a professional point of view. That's why it took me a longer time. Then I was working on the FSC model, right? And so, but because people had known me, so they will invite me to come and teach sexual education. And then in fact, I was teaching also sex and marriage. And because this is a mentoring session, I stopped teaching sex and marriage. How to have sex when I got a call from Abuja, and then there was a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, one woman who was on my job. They thought that maybe what I was teaching was, I can also practicalize it. So they wanted me to come and be Binaki. That was when if you notice, this is the first time I'm saying it, I slowed it down and I killed it. And I left it for some of my mentees, Wumi, and the rest of them who are now teaching it to be teaching it. So I focused on something else, right? So it's always good. As a family life coach, it's good to be an all-rounder, know about everything, but then the market must have accepted you for that to happen. Or pitch your company to the market as an awesome family life solution center, right? And then once you pitch it that way, they know that, okay, they can reach you for everything. But it's always good when people your name can replace what you do. That when they mention Fidelia, what comes to their mind? Is it single? That single lady, or is it that parenting lady, or that marriage coach? Oh, Fidelia, are they doing? Oh, she's so good at that. There must be an anchor, right, on which you now build every other thing. So that's the whole idea behind that. Yeah, and I know it's very tough for Africans to do, because if you ask an African to introduce themselves, we even struggle to introduce ourselves with one thing. What do you do? I'm a coach. I'm also a therapist. I'm a coach. I'm also a businessman, right? And it's something we need to move away from. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. More. As a newly certified teens coach, how can I register for the 6-week license class on family engineering system? And will the 6 weeks training be enough to equip me to work with clients so that I don't keep acquiring certification without using it? You are a teen coach. You are a certified teen coach. Okay, so you want to do FSC, please talk to the registrar so that they can tell you exactly what you need. But I want to know, what have you done with the teens coaching certification, because there's a whole lot in that value chain You want to work with, if you want to work with parents, I think you should take you don't need to take certification again for parenting. You want to work with parents, you already done teen coaching, you can take the licensing program, because that gives you an entire framework to work with. Yep. So that's my answer to you, Mo. Okay, you're working on your community practice. So please finish your community practice, but you can take the licensing program. Yeah, with time, if you now want to say you want to build family system, because the framework, family system engineering framework, is actually what you use for your teen coaching, just with slight variations. So basically, I think because you have taken some electives already, what you now need is maybe how to write the report and some of the tools. That might be what you need. But talk to the registrar. Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining. I mean, I really, really appreciate all of you. You guys today stayed all true. Monlek China say, what always get me intimidated is being a coach and not having a psychology certification. So I tend to feel I'm not qualified or legit, or don't have a diploma. See, you don't need, psychology is not the same thing as family life practice, please. Psychology is psychology. Family science is family science. In fact, what we do is family systems engineering programming. It's a different field on its own, right? And at the end of the day, you want to help clients get better, right? That's what you want to do. So it's not the whether you go to Harvard, I have PhD holders who can't do any therapy, right? It's to believe in yourself, I don't know if you have done FSC. I think if you have done FSC, you are strong enough to stand shoulder to shoulder with anybody in any part of the world, right? That's the truth, right? So you don't need psychology to a degree in psychology. It's not even related. If you want to be a psychologist, go and take a master's in psychology. If you want to now take a master's, maybe marriage and family therapy, but that does nothing for you really, especially if you're an African and you work in Africa, right? So don't feel that you are a fraud, except you have not done any certification at all. If you have done FSC, I think you should be fine, right? If you have done FSC, you should be fine. So what is stopping you? So go ahead I know that you're, whatever country you are in, go ahead and let's know how we can support you, right? If you run into trouble, let's know. We'll provide all the support and the backup for you. Especially if you feel lonely or you are alone, we can support you. We can partner with you to set whatever you want to set up wherever you are, right? As the first set of teen adolescent coaching 2023, we didn't do our community practice. How can we do that? No, that's not possible. If you have not done your community practice, please talk to registrar. Please talk to them, especially Omotola. Talk to Omotola, and so that they can figure out how to do your community practice. Okay, that's all for today. Our time is fast spent. I love you all. I'll see you next week. But please, next month that I'm going to see you, two things. I want all of you to shoot your content, whether you're if you prefer to write and blast it out. Right? Create your community that you feed every day. Become their pastor, become their coach, that you are feeding them with new stuff. Do reviews with them. You can create it on WhatsApp. Have a community, even if it's 10 of them, minimum of 10, right? Keep feeding them, let them invite their friends. It will grow, right? And so that's that on that. And then all of you need to make money. So go take that flyer, talk to your church, talk to all the churches you know, and let them know, hey, they need to and why they need to secure the teenagers is because teenagers are the ones who are consuming porn the most in our world, in Africa today, and the future is really bleak if we don't do something, right? So let them train their family life. They are teens ministers, they are teen teachers for 1.5 million, right? So make money. I love you all. I'll see you next month. So go ahead, guys. Keep shining your light. Keep showing up. Keep telling the world what you can do. And if there's any way we can support you, reach out to us or reach out to me, and then we'll see how we can support you in your country or where.